All right, I think I'm back. Try this again. Okay. We back. We back. We back. We got it. We good. Okay. Sorry about that. Something's been going on with my OBS lately, where like it like doesn't recognize my audio, and I sometimes I don't. It's been weird lately. Having back-to-back streams. But I think we're good now. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right, everybody. Hope you're having a good day today. Welcome into the stream. So I forgot. I haven't used React in a little bit. React just has a regular button. Yeah, that's right. We can just use the regular button HTML, and we'll say we'll throw in our plant icon here. And then what we're gonna do is grab a plus sign. 4G plus. No. We're gonna grab this guy, and we're going to put it into here. And so nice. So now we can go like this and do class name, do border, do radius or border. Is it radius? Oh, is it round? Rounded. Nice. What we'll do is we'll do flex row, gap of 2, go 1, no gap. We're going to go class name. Can I say yeah, so if I do like 50, here's a pretty large, so if I use 15, let's do 12, oh, let's do 16, yeah, and then we'll do here, class name, size, we'll do 8, or maybe we'll do 12, no, 8. And then let's make these items center. Cool. And then we'll give a padding of 5, 2. Nice. We'll give a padding in the X direction of 2, 4. We'll give a padding in the Y direction of 2, 1, 3. Nice. Then what I'll do, actually I'll go padding right. these icons are a little bit funky. Well, it's not like the icons have different spacing, right? So it's kind of difficult to determine here. Let me get some tunes going. Welcome everybody. We're building a new project today. You're starting to get going on it. This is called Pocket Farm. Should be a pretty cool project to get started here. What are these different? Okay. That's fine. Let's do. It's just too much in the X direction, so we gotta do padding in the X direction 4, 2, like that. Yeah, let's do that like that. Yeah, we got it now, Dumb Guy Codes. Appreciate that. It's gonna be a funny name to say tonight. Okay, cool. So now let's go ahead and do text. And then we're gonna do this custom. I'm gonna bring in a let's bring in a const variable. We'll say green. We'll say dark green is equal to. We'll make it a string. Let me go over to my nav bar here I made off stream. Go here. Grab this guy here. Set that. Now we'll go into here and set text equal to how can I insert a variable? I forgot how to insert a variable for a color folder in a class name. Okay, so the class name has to go like this. Backtick. This is a closing bracket with a backtick. We do. Oh, whoops, sorry. Wrong one. This goes like this. This is some weird syntax here. And then we have to do text, a $sign here to preface that we're going to insert some JavaScript here and do dark green. So we'll say background color. That did not work. I think we can look it up here if we just click on this and do here. No. No. Oh, okay. So it looks like it's just a prop. So we didn't really need to do this. So you go this. Right. And then we say, or we would want to probably not fill those as dark green, but instead fill our button so we'd have to do this. Background. Is that not right? So you have to do like this. No, that wouldn't even do it either. Oh no. Wrong thing. So it wants me to take a style. So what if you just say, rather than inserting this, just say green. Let's say, is there like a no, it's just too green. It's just too green. I'll try with a hashtag. That didn't work either. Oh, well, the button it says a color prop, so sorry. What's going on? Why can't I figure this out? Constantly in this situation. Well, actually, we need the hashtag because then if I did color, go to this dark green. No. We say, why will this work? Let's just do this. Whatever. Well, let's just see if this even works. Yeah, that does work. So why can't we put that in there? Huh? Huh? Why can't we do this for dark green? No. Strange. Alright, well, I guess we'll just have to leave it as a... like, do it this way, which kind of sucks. Because I wanted to kind of do it dynamically here. But, whatever, I guess. We'll get rid of border. Okay, we'll do that. And then we'll make, this will be, so this doesn't do that, right? Oh, yes, it does. Let's try here. Aha, that does that. So can we say transparent? Yes, but no, we don't want it to be transparent. Let's try to have it be, the color of the background. So it kind of looks like it's going through, I guess. Maybe we'll make it like a little bit darker as like a complementary color. Oh, no, not that one. As like a complementary color or something. Not that great at color scheme in here. Like an ab right here. So the goal here is Pocket Farm. It's kind of, I also want to make this text a bit bigger, and then we'll make our hamburger also a little bit bigger. I think I have to do here. 250. No, let's do like 30. Well, here we can test this out by doing what? Let's get rid of this real quick. Oh no. Can we just no, not that. Oh, I have the flex one, sorry, that's why. We'll make it maybe, I mean, that's a pretty good size. It looks like it's like a little bit up top compared to down below. Like if I put a border on this guy, I think it's just because it's like that P kind of hangs down visually a little bit more, so it looks like it. So there's a little bit of like visual tension here, right? The item center, I thought should be aligning these, but that's for the H1. Why am I applying an item text center on the H1? It doesn't really do anything. This item center, that's what's keeping it aligned there. But if we say align middle, that doesn't do anything. Say items. If baseline brings that, no. Let's see. No, just trying different stuff here for fun. Center safe. I mean, whatever. Not that big of a deal. What happened here? Oh. Let's just get back. Oh, this might... Yeah, that's what does it. Sorry, I need that. My bad. Okay. Cool. So now we have this little add plant icon here. So the goal is uh, studying for my OA for SpaceX tomorrow. Oh wow, dude, you got it. You got it. All right, let's keep rolling. Let's keep on rolling. Okay, so this button will be to now. Let's add a cursor. Pointer. Nice. Let's add a let's see if we can do some we're getting fancy with it here. Let's do how do you do that? I forgot. Man, I gotta go back and study. Every time I study, I always go back and do something else, and I forget back and forget. Oh, front end stuff's annoying. I think I want to give it like a little click thing, right? So I'm gonna have to give it like an on click event to handle. Ah, shoot. Let's see here. Button click effect how to. So active. There's an active parameter. Okay. Interesting. Let's try some stuff here. So let's say transition. Make this just leave it as is, right? Transform. And then we're gonna say active. And on the active, I'm gonna say scale to 95. So what? Nice. Look at that little button click. That's so cool. Let's go. Awesome. Now if we say active, we say shadow. And once it's saying, what if we apply a shadow inner? What does that do? Doesn't do anything. Oh yeah, I'll make inner like, okay, so if we say active shadow, that doesn't do anything, right? But if we say shadow, 2x, unclick it gives a shadow. Oh, kind of dumb. No, we don't need that. Now what if we gave this button like a I like that. That's cool. What if you what if you did something crazy like that'd be the most annoying web page ever. Every button click, like it disappears and comes back. That's funny. I'm having fun here. Ah, what is going on? Oh, it just keeps going over there. Let's say like 90. Let's make it maybe a little bit deeper. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Okay, and then get rid of this shadow. Okay, so then if we give it a hover effect, right? We can give it a hover effect and make it go, background. And let's take our green value and let's kind of, I guess, make this a little bit lighter. I don't think that really did much. So let's, okay, it's just that transition that's causing it to, is that because the hover is coming after the transition in line here? Like if you put the hover here, does it not get affected by that transition? No, it always does. So if I got rid of this, no, it's always like that. Okay, so maybe that's unaffected then. So then, if I wanted to make it instant, hover, is there like a speed? No. Well, I already have a hover applied here. How to make a hover effect faster? You adjust the transition duration. So the duration, though, will the duration also apply to a scale active? Yes. Transition transform ensures only transform like scales animated. So if you give it a transition dash transform. Oh, so if you only apply the transition dash transform, now the hover is instant. Perfect. And so if we go like this and apply our dark green here, but make it a little bit lighter. Oh, it's darker. What the heck? No way. I made that darker? Well, I guess so. Lighter. Nice. Now let's do duration. 75. Bounce. I'm learning here. So you transition transform, duration of like 200, ease out, oh, but I want the hover to change color. No, sorry. But the hover changes color slightly. Right? Oh, transition colors as well. So you can't have both of them though. Huh. Well, maybe just we want to apply the transition, so I guess back to everything. I mean, it's being applied to everything. Why not, right? Yes. Okay. That's whatever. So then let's give a hover scale of 105. Nice. And then let's go like 102. A little slight little bump up, 103, and then it kind of clicks. Cool. Look at that. I think I honestly like that lighter green better than this darker one. Oh, that goes to purple. Dang. That would have been funny. That's so funny. Just by changing one number here. Um, I guess I'll keep this guy. I kind of like this color honestly better than this one. And I guess we'll make this one go kind of lighter here. I'm gonna take the ease out off. Yeah, because I think it was kind of affecting the fade out. Well, if you click on it while it's doing its thing, it kind of because you hover and it raises it. Yeah, the hover scale up, if you click on it, ease in out. Yeah, that kind of helps. Hmm. Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna make this is a little bit too light, a little bit too dark. That goes like more pale. I'm gonna take off the scale upwards on this thing when you want to. It just kind of messes up the. Nice. Um, this kind of gives it like that warping effect, right? Or that like swooping in and out. Whatever, that's fine. We don't need to get too crazy here. It's just a button. We're going too overkill with the buttons here. We want to make it a little bit lighter. Maybe not that light. Gosh, I can't make up my mind. There we go. Cool. So let me grab this color here. Let me throw it on our nav bar. For the This guy. Like this color. Is that the right one? Yeah. Cool. That's kind of cool. Okay, so the goal is you have um I don't know. I gotta kind of plan out some design here, but we have a nav bar here, which does some cool stuff. We have we could probably remove that transition because it gets covered by the actual bar itself, and you exit out of it with this. So we can probably get rid of that. Um, right. Hey, what's going on, Praveen? Welcome. Ace, hello, how's it going? Appreciate you for coming in here. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so the goal here is Pocket Farm. I'm gonna try my best, but the goal is going to be to have it so you can add your plants, like basically like your at-home garden, and you can make into your garden. You have a farm, right? Your Pocket Farm, and you can give it like a name and whatnot, and associate it with your profile, and and what you can do is like what you can do is you can basically log and record your at-home plants, and you can make like entries for them and log various statistics. And I think that you could add or remove statistics as you please to make your own custom events. And then what would happen is you could get like generate reports for your overall plants and whatnot. And yeah, so think about it like this. So I want to add a crop, right? That's what I'm calling them, as crop in my backend here. I already built out some models and stuff, right? This part was easy, building the Python. This part is what's hard. The Python stuff, I did this all in one night, off stream. No AI, no nothing. This is what I'm good at, but this stuff I can't do that well. So what I and we also set up Fast API backend here for a couple of routes with some kind of new organization for our routes with kind of this cool file structure that I want to try out this time around with using Pydantic for our schema models. Look, I think it'll be pretty nice and organized. I'm kind of excited to get into it. But, so we need to, we need to, our goal is the user can add their crops to their farm, right? They will be able to add their own crops to the farm, and then at various days or whatever, at any time throughout the crop's life, they can make an entry whether they did something on the crop, whether they watered it or fed it, or right. If you want to track your movements across the crop's life cycle on a more like niche level, rather than like working in some kind of boring Excel, we could do it like this. And then you have the option to like add photos, I think would be cool. And then what you could also do is, so you have like your own, each crop has its own like associated like identity then. And what you could do potentially is you can make it like a network, like a social network, and you could share your crops to other gardeners, and they could see like, okay, this is how you grew. I see all of your entries for how you grew the specific type of plant, and I want to like replicate it. Could you share with me your crop? And I could like recreate and plant the same way and have all the same nutrients and the same soil medium and all this kind of cool stuff. I think it'd be kind of cool to make it into like a not only a crop logging and tracking system with custom statistics that you can add and drop, but also like a social network for farmer like for your gardeners. I think it'd be kind of cool. All right. How does that sound, you guys? Does that sound cool? Hey, Nate, how's it going? Yeah, it's pretty fun. Fast API has been kind of cool so far. I've been liking using it so far. So this will be to add a crop, right? You'll be able to add a crop, and we're gonna open up a form when you press this to add a crop to your. Now, what we could do is the thing is that's kind of fun about this. The thing that's kind of fun um, is that you could. Uh, I don't know, Nate. We need to figure that out. I normally have used like databases at scale before, so I'm gonna need to learn. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. Um, but I think it would be fun to. What was I gonna say? I forgot. Dang it. Oh, what was I gonna say? Um, Oh yeah, so we could have like a. I'm not. This is not the main purpose of it. I really wanted to use this tool myself, but we could even make it this into to pat ourselves on the back and try to make like a product that actually maybe make some dough. We could potentially set up a pricing model to where a free tier account could just have a single crop associated with their pocket farm, and then maybe with up to maybe like 25 entries, right, recorded, right, with one picture limited to each entry. And then you could have an upgraded account for having unlimited crops, unlimited entries for the crops, and unlimited, not unlimited, maybe up to like 3 pictures or like 5 pictures or whatever per entry. And so so we could get some incentive to help us out for our database capacities to help and stuff like that. I don't know. I think that'd be a good like pricing model to at least have some features that would people I think would want to pay for to have additional crops to log, not only just one or maybe two in the free tier, but just as many as you want. But yeah, that's my idea for Pocket Farm. I did buy the domain pocketfarm.app. It was available, so pretty cool. Pocketfarm.com it was not though, so that's all right. But pocketfarm.app it was available, so I think that's pretty good. So, but we need to slowly put this together. I'm really slow at the back end stuff, you guys. Okay, so we want to. Okay, so we have this button. Nice. Um, that does its job perfectly. So then let's go ahead and I guess we can start kind of building out some stuff here. So let's do a H1 header and let's say crops, right? In here, we're going to have a table. Is that how you do it? Is it TB? No, it's table. Sorry. Right? You're going to have a table head. A table. Right? Is it this? I suck at this so bad. I don't want to like give up so easily, but like I want to. It's better to learn by example. React tables for. Should I just use the default? So let's just quickly, or let's just copy this over into a new, we'll say crops table .jsx. We'll throw this in here. We'll call this the crops table. We'll get rid of this guy. And then we'll see what we can do here, right? So then let's take our app here, rather than doing this. Yeah. So then we'll have like, I guess we'll have a crops section .jsx, and we'll also paste this here. We'll delete this, do crops section, get rid of this, and then what we'll do is in the crops section, go import crops table, and then we'll return. Thank you so much for the follow, whoever that was. Really appreciate that. We'll return a fragment, sorry. Yeah, fragment, and we'll say an h1 header. We'll say crops, and then we'll return the crops table here. Ooh. Right? And then in our app, we'll just import the crops section, and then do crops section here, just to keep it kind of organized, right? Now we're not getting that h1 because crops table has an error in it. So let's just return an empty div here, or a fragment. So our crops section should be returning Why isn't this working? Oh, there we go. Just had a refresh. Okay. Let's see here. Hey, how's it going, Trick Surf? Hey, Jax Bills, what's going on, my boy? Appreciate everybody being here. We got 22, everybody. We got 22 people in here. Awesome. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. My name is Michael. I'm a biochemist. I got a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. Graduated back in 2021, and I work as a professional formulation chemist for a biotech company since I graduated. Been teaching myself how to code for a little over a year and a half. Been building projects completely on my own, like independently here, and learning how to code every day almost, and streaming it. So if you guys enjoy that and want to see me and continue to learn along with me through books, courses, and live projects, consider following along. I got a Discord link down below with all of my resources and everything's on my GitHub as well. Right? So pretty cool. 1 second. So okay, so let's go here. Let's do const crops data is equal to, we'll make this an array of, how do you do this I'm just going to steal this little example one I have over here, right? So we'll say so let's actually pass in like a data prop into here. and we'll say crops data. And then I'm going to take this guy out of here for now. I'm going to go over to our crop section. Have crops. Oh, I already have it set up, sorry. Ah. What? No. What's going on? I cannot type. Okay. Now what we'll do is go here and do crops data is equal to crops data here, right? So then what we'll do is in crops table data, I'll say if, right? I can say in here if, no, I don't want to do this in the return statement actually, so it's in the function. If crops data dot length, yeah, there's a length, but we probably could short circuit this by saying if not crops data or crops dot length 0. Right, we want to return a paragraph says add a crop to your Pocket Farm. Okay, else we're going to return this. We're going to return like, so then what we'll say is we have an array of objects for all of our Pocket Farm objects. Okay, got you. So a crop object has like some of these. Now these are just some ones I put in here for now, but we probably need to throw in a lot more for like, I wanted to make it so that they can add various statistics to their crop entries or to their entries, right? And their crop tracking for more customization, right? So they could add and drop various trackers or whatnot for their individual crops, for their crops and for their entries. What would be kind of cool. That might be a lot of work though. Rustem, hey buddy, I'm new. Can you just give me an idea what you're building? I'm first year Stan CS from Stan CS. How's it going, Rustum? Thanks so much for joining me. Yeah, we're building a Pocket Farm right now. It's a full stack app, I guess, that'll be able to log and track your crops, kind of like your home garden or home farm, through various entries as you go. You can log whether the entry be, and you can like give various tags to the entries, like whether it be like watering, like, so you can get like various actions, right? Maybe what we'll do is for each entry you can apply like an action, something that you did in that entry, and then we can track not only the entries but the actions in each entry. Or maybe we make it as simple as each entry is the individual action. Maybe not make it that much level of nesting. So it's just you can apply entries to the crop and then you can track them, so you can have multiple entries on the same day for multiple actions or whatever. Or, an entry kind of seems like, oh, I'm going into the garden. This is what I did. These are the actions I did in that entry, and it's logged for that crop. So we could do it that way. I kind of have to think about it. It's definitely more work. I don't know what else to think. But then what I think would be kind of fun is so you have like a life cycle tracker and all these data entries for everything you did and all the care that you took for growing your garden and growing these various plants. And a lot of people, a lot of cultivars and a lot of at-home garden or cultivists and botanists, whatever they are people like to know how they grew their plants and what kind of mediums they use and fertilizers and whatever what genetics was a part of the strains and stuff. So you could just maybe potentially we can make like a social platform to share to other users your pocket farm crops, right? You could share your stuff. So I think that'd be kind of fun. All right, cool. Let's keep rolling. Hey, Copy Ninja, how's it going? Cool. I've been growing like some vegetables lately. Trying to get into and there's like the certain seasons, growing some vegetables and some fruits and stuff. And I want to kind of track them more and see if I can really get this going. Maybe we could have this be kind of fun. Okay, let's keep rolling. So this is kind of an example one, right? We need to kind of break this down even. Maybe we'll make it more specific to our specific like, crop. Um, uh, so a crop would have like an ID, right? So it would have an ID, probably have a name, right? And then a quantity. Probably be more of like a um, um, status, right? Like a lie, like like in process or whatever. We'll say like in process. Probably have like status in process. Probably have like a lifespan, life cycle, and this would be like an integer of like let's say like so far it's 25. Right. Maybe we'll make it call. Maybe we'll do like a span. Like it spans like a certain period. Um, we'll make it. I guess um, that's fine for now. You guys have any other parameters we want to jot down now? I always think we need to tackle everything at once, but we can always just keep adding stuff and keep adding stuff and keep adding stuff. So it doesn't have to like be super robust at the start. So we have our example of our table here. Okay, so we can do something like this. So our crops table is going to get this information. So we have our table header here, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a table. And then we're going to do a table head. This is how you build a table. So then you have, which is a table row. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do headers, which we need to, let's go like this and say const headers is equal to, we need to index into this list of crops data, index of 0, oh, so it'd be, sorry. Yeah, and then it'd be, we have to do this, right? So you take object dot keys crops data index of 0. That gives us the headers of all the values. So then we'll insert headers into here. Great. And then what we'll do is I'm going to do this. Instead of this, we'll do, no, how do you do this? Yeah, you have the JavaScript, right? So headers dot map. So we'll map all of the headers to a, now how do you, the thing is, I always suck at this part, is the syntax of it. It's always so confusing. There's so many parentheses. So we put the singular form in here like this. Then we do an arrow function and open up for what we're going to actually do in the function. Now we're going to have a table head, which will be the header that we put in here. Right, perfect. No. There's this key equal to the header. Right. Okay, yeah, that's the header. And then you do into that for the key so we can access it, right? And then this is header inside of here dot to uppercase. Right. Perfect. Nice. Now, what we can do is in our table row, no, sorry, our table head, we can open up a, this is confusing. There's so many levels of nesting here for each little element of the table. We can do a class name. Let's do, oh, whoops, I'm in the wrong area here. Border. Nice. And then we'll give border, what does this do? The border class property controls whether the border of a table its cells are shared or separated. It applies to the table element, determines the rendering model. Border collapse, separate. Oh, so the border is separate from the cell, giving some spacing, whereas the border is the cell. Got you, got you, got you, got you. Okay. Okay, cool. Then let's get like a padding X of like 4. I kind of want to go to my SpectroSim project, and I want to see the table I made for that one a while ago. I know this kind of, we just worked on this, but we'll throw this here. Okay, so, oh, hold on. We'll throw that one below so we can just reference it here. Okay, what we'll say is, huh. One sec. Let's see. I want to go back to my thing here. Hey XAV, how's it going? Appreciate you for joining me. Welcome. Hey Hector. This response is brutal. It's hosted on render.com for free, so the response times are tough. But I want to see what this looks like. Come on. So brutal. Imagine showing this in a job interview. Yeah, just give it a minute. Give it a minute. Bro, come on. Render.com is so bad. So bad. Oh, there we go, finally. Yeah, that looks nice. What am I doing there? Okay. Yeah, okay. So we have head to head. Okay, then table row. Yeah. Do this. So class. That gets rid of all the table. We give it this class name just to fill in here. And that gets rid of the table headers. So now those are done. Okay, so then we have after table header we have this of table body. So let me take one of these table bodies with this table body, put it into here, get rid of all the other table datas. right? Table row, table data. And so then we're going to do so yeah, crop up, chill. That one's bad. Okay, so then table body. So what we're gonna do is do data dot, or we'll go, sorry, crop data dot map crop data, crops data dot map crop data, and we're going to arrow function. Syntax is so brutal, JavaScript, I'm telling you, man. Okay, we're gonna open this up. Inside of here goes the table rows with the data and the table row end. Right? So this has a, let's see, there. There. Okay. Now what we're going to do is table row, we're going to associate the key of the table row with the crop we'll say row. I guess we'll say, sorry, we'll say crop dot ID right? And then this opens up the class name. Okay, so then we have to, okay, then it gets kind of funky here. Okay, so after we do the table row, what happens is we have headers dot map. We need to go and run over the headers again for every header. Right, open up an arrow function. Jeez Louise. And then open this up. And then inside of here is going to go the table data. And we're going to insert into here header index, oh, sorry, row index of header. There is not defined. Oh, headers, sorry. Row is not defined. Oh, sorry. Crop. Nice. Okay. So chopped. Okay, so let's see. How did I make that other table look nice? What did I do? Okay, so I stuck it in a div. With these parameters, right? So I stuck the table in a div. Is this the other one that oh. Okay. Now, what I'll do remove all this crap. Remove this shadow. Remove this. Yeah, border. Okay. So the div is just overflows. Okay, so I just took that here. Gotcha. So then if I want to make it so that if I want to make it so obviously we need to format the table here. Are you gonna be able to upload photos of your crops? Yes, exactly. Yeah, so you'll be able to make events like very like kind of like your entries throughout the entire life cycle of the crop, adding photos, and then you could track all your statistics via like graphs throughout the life cycle, right? And you could customize your statistics if you want, like add and drop them. I think would be fun. Like if you want to track the height, you can add a height statistic. If you don't want to track the height, you just don't. You just drop it from your events, right? For that crop. Um, and then what you can do is, I think would be fun to add like a social feature to where you can share your crop, and which basically shares like the entire life cycle blueprint to someone, so that they could follow right the entire thing. Um, yeah, upload picture and store it in local storage for first later. Once you get it all, just store it on the cloud. Cool. Does that sound like a cool idea, guys? Okay, so this is our. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so then I'll get rid of the border on the div. I'll get rid of this. table order. Oh, well, you have orders here. So if I say rounded, no, so the border, you have to apply it to, like we had here on this overflow X border. But then we'll say width is fit to the child. So then why, well, that looks like trash. Right? And then we'll maybe give it, we'll go up to our crop section, give some more data. We'll give one more thing of data here, like, I don't know. So this will, now I want to, you'll have obviously a button to press to take you to each one, right? So like link, and like, it's just like it's just like a link here, right? Something. So then, like this would just be like a go-to button to like have you travel to it, right? Maybe we'll have some like actions. We'll have it be actions, right? Maybe that's what we'll do. Is rather than passing the data, passing it like this, instead what we could do is in our actual crops table here, have a table head with a key equal to actions. Right? What's going on here? Okay, so maybe we don't do it in this function here. So we already have a table head being applied there. Maybe we have to do it outside here. Yeah. Give it a class name here. And then for the data point, right? And then here will be some icons. So we'll like, let's go to our React icons. Let's say go to go. So like an arrow function with like not log out, something like that, but more like maybe pointing upwards or something like. I guess if we want to just do maybe an arrow. Hey, thanks for the follow, whoever that was. That's a good idea, Pancakes. The link could be generated based on the idea of the crop. For example, crop/crop ID. That's awesome. Perfect. You could have IoT devices track statistics about the plants and devices and data on a website. What is IoT? Sorry. Oh, like give it like a tap into like a device or something like that. So we want to do like something like a go, like go to, like an arrow or something, not like an arrow. Oh, here we go. Yeah, like this arrow pointing up, right? Yeah. So let's grab this guy. Look at us writing this React. Let's go. And let's throw in. Okay, so then what we're gonna want to do is at the end of this table row, inside of this table row, we're gonna make one more table data, but outside of that function, we're going to put into here. Oh, what happened? No, where'd my arrow go? No! There it is. Okay. Let's put in this guy here. Nice. Look at it. It's sick. Okay, now let's do, we're going to do is a div here. And we're going to put in this into the div. And then can we do a, is there a trash can? um, Solid or filled? Probably solid. So you can fill it with color. Let's do trash can. Let's throw that there. And then let's do a share. Okay, so we'll bring the share here. Nice. And then what we'll do is we'll give a class name to this guy. We'll go flex row, gap, 1, 2, 3. Okay. info. We'll use an info label rather. Rather than the go right arrow. Nice. So then let's do let's do there we go. I guess we'll make it 3XL. And then the trash can is just a little bit bigger visually, but no, 3. Nice. So now you can give these actions, right? So I'm going to get rid of this hover, 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 hover. Nice. So the thing is, I think I'm going to just do this. Give me a custom shadow here. Okay, so then we'll go to our table here. No. Sorry, whoops. Remove these borders. Border. Now, is there a way to make it so the min width of this div is going to be 500 pixels. Ah, what the heck? Width, min. No. Minimum width 500 pixels. Huh. Huh. Okay, so the okay, so I kind of just want to have. Okay, let me remove all these hovers. Get all these off of here. Goodbye. Goodbye. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get rid of you. Okay. Good. So now there's no hover going on. Okay, so now how can I? Hey, Shudo. How's it going? Okay, so okay, so I'm gonna take my table here that I have. This can go away, right? Okay, so let's set this. Thanks. Ah, is it? Is it? This guy here. Crops, right? Cool. So then how can I make it so... Okay, so let's go like this. So here's my table. Okay, so now that we got that, kind of like a really good baseline, what I'll do is I will throw that here and see what happens. There we go. That did what I wanted it to do. No, I don't want it to do min width the full. If I remove this, that makes it full with a minimum width. Oh, I'm gonna say, sorry, max width. Max width. So what we'll do is we'll just make it like this. So max width is going to be, so we'll say minimum width is going to be 800 pixels. Max width is going to be 1000 pixels. Sorry, we need to do maybe 600. Okay, so something that we can do. So the corners of the borders have like these visual impaired like abstractions here, right? Which kind of suck. So I think I want to remove the borders. And then remove this border. Right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make yeah, that's fine. So then we'll just make the actual div itself. We'll say background color is white. That. Beautiful. Nice. And then we'll make this gray a little bit darker at gray, no. Beautiful. And then what I'll do is I'll make the header background color gray 200. No, so I might need to go on. Background gray 200 onto the table head here. Why does that not work? If I did hover, Oh, there we go. Oh, it might be Y. That's why. Cross table. We do I guess so. It's fine. Oh. Okay. What do you guys think? Okay. I think it looks pretty good so far. Um. Let's say max width. 1000 pixels. To 1200 pixels. Probably gonna add in a couple more rows. And we'll say this is gonna be you can't do a space, right? Yeah. I'll go. Okay, so yeah, it's not like let's go do a days. Like that. Days status. You can share it. Got it, cool. So now what we'll do, I that hover is kind of bad, so let me go ahead and do, let's do the table as gray 50. And then let's do the hover as white. So if you hover on a thing, it goes white, whereas the table goes. Kind of like that color that we have there for the title or the headers. I guess then when we hover, we'll go to the green color that we had. Right. Sorry. What am I doing here? Crops section. I need to go to the crops table. I want to make the hover value the green. No, that's not the green. Oh my god, where is it? Here. Looks like trash. Yeah, that's color, right? Or is that spread? No, this is color RGB, right? And then this is the spread. Cool. And then we'll just make hover be like a smoke. I'll make no. Table head, table body. Wait. Why does that look so bad? Gosh, dude, that sucks. Yeah, that looks so bad. Does that already happen on automatically? Yeah. Active. Let me just do nice. Now that got some some bounce to it as well. Nice. Little bounce today. Let's go. I just started. This is my second day of working on it. In my first day, I put together these classes. I did these off stream for kind of our back end. Put together a route, and then a couple of schemas here. And then today, I started building a front end kind of structure here for your crops that you're gonna have. Right. So what we'll do here is I kind of don't like the hover animation, the hover gray. Remove that. And then I'm going to make this a little more gray yellow. Like that. Cool. Now for the table, the shadow here. That's just all around. So that, yeah, that's the offset here. Okay, so we want like 4 pixels here. Let's go 3 pixels. 3 pixels. I don't want to make this like way fuzzy. There you go. That was good. Um, so let's go ahead. Hey Ray, your process, progress, and dedication is top tier. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Is that a Carhartt jacket? Yeah, it is. I bought this back like my freshman year of high school from like some dude that was like a electrician or something. And then they started to get popular like a couple years later and they went up and like tripled in price. I got it for like 20 bucks. Um, okay, cool. Let's see here. All right, that looks good. Um, Now the thing is do I go like this and do font and then do the this guy here, right? Text. Is that kind of cringe, like having that um having that be that font? I feel like we should find like a complementary font, right, to like complement this table a little bit better. Um, right, so then the table head, this is gonna have a font bold. Let's have this be a little bit bigger. Right, then there we go. Nice. The font is good the way it is. Before or now? And then maybe make these action buttons a little bit smaller. Um, okay. Okay, I'm gonna make the minimum width. I'm gonna drop the ID. So we'll say headers.mav if how do I pass the ID? How would I skip over the ID one? So let's set a max width to 1,000 pixels, minimum width to 500. And then I want to drop the ID. Okay, so you do. So here you have headers.map. Dot filter for H for every header. And which header are we going to try to find? Ones that do not equal to quote ID. Am I doing this wrong? And then we'll do the same thing for here. Okay, so we'll say visible headers. And we'll just take visible headers. Remove this. Why is it so? Let's see here. What? Okay, so I think, yeah, it's okay. We said a bug. Okay, cool. So now that lowers down significantly. So we'll say padding the extraction will do 2. So minimum 300. There we go. Beautiful. Let's go. Nice. I'm super, that's so that looks nice. That looks really nice. Awesome. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna move this crops button over to the right here. So we're going to open up the div here. Take this, add that in here. Bring this here, go here. We're gonna go class name, flex, flex row. Oh, sorry, no. Get out of here. What am I doing? We're going to do app So our crop section is going to get the crops, and this is we're going to import the add crops button here. And this is where we'll do a div. Oh my gosh, it's tight, dude. Holy crap. And then what we'll do is we'll throw in the add crops button. I'm gonna go to my app. I'm gonna take it out of here. Oh. Out of here. Out of here. Oh, nope. Come on. Okay, it's getting late. It's time for me to call it. That's about that time, boys. Okay, then we're going to open up another div here. Not a div. Div. Gosh. We'll open this. We'll throw in the H1 and that. We'll go here. Class name. Flex. Flex row. I'm going to do class name with fit. Why does width fit shrink that down? Oh, to the minimum width that it can be, so I don't want to do that. Whatever, we don't need to specify them, we'll just have it be whatever the child is. We're going to do flex, flex column, gap 2. Okay. We're going to do XL crops. Then on this guy, flex row, justify between. Now if we go border with fit. Beautiful. So now I have a button here to add the crop. and it'll update dynamically. So then what we can do is in our main app here, padding 8 all around. Let's go flex, or let's leave it like that. We'll go here, open up a div for this guy. Keep these out, put that in. Go class name, flex, column, justify, center, items, center, align, why is this not applying? There we go. I'm going to take out navbar. Beautiful. Nice. Look at that. Okay. So then we can do well, let me go ahead and before we get too far, we've already coded a lot. We need to push this up. Probably should have been committing along the way here. Add crops section with table and styles. Crops section with table, buttons, and styles. Cool. Nice. Is this a farming simulator? No. It's like I'm impressed with how good you are at coding for only doing it around a year and a half. It took me a lot longer to get that good. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I appreciate the compliment a lot. I really I often ask you guys, how you think I'm doing because I don't really have any gauge because I don't have like peers or classmates to kind of compare against. Like I'm not getting grades back from a professor or anything, so it's hard to kind of see like, oh, I'm at this level or this level. It's really like up in the air. It's kind of just like, oh, what am I able to create? Like and is it good enough and where do I think it lands? And so it can be a little bit discouraging at times to think like, oh, I might be like falling behind. But from your guys' feedback, you guys have kind of told me that I'm kind of like landing at like a junior, or sorry, sophomore to junior level of a CS major in like at least coding skills and some of my like algorithm and data structure knowledge and whatnot. But we still need to dive deeper into computer like actual architecture and stuff, for sure, and like maybe even a little like electrical engineering and stuff, to really encompass like what the CS major is also teaches, besides just languages and whatnot. But for the overall coding aspect and learning of languages, I know that's not really like super relevant to the actual CS major, but like I want to like software development. I do think we're making good progress in like being able to develop and work through things, making our own components and able to debug, ask questions when we need to, but not having it do it for us. Getting like 95 to 98% of the way there, and then letting the AI just help debug to just get us over there and just move on and get through the things quicker. Like, and so it's really nice so far, I think, and this looks pretty cool. I'm pretty satisfied with this so far. I think I might change this to like a brown text. So let's go ahead and quickly do that. So crops, I think I had a brown text here on my nav bar. So we want to go to my nav bar and find this brown color and go to our crops section and yeah, here. Is it? How can you set a size and a color? Oh, you could just use text twice. Okay, I didn't know that. Oh, that looks nice. Then let's do an underline. What does this do? Can we make it dashed? Dashed, underline. Underline, underline offset 2, underline dashed. Oh, decoration, sorry. What the heck? How to make it thinner? Decoration with a size. Ah, that looks like garbage. Not doing that. All right, let me grab I'm gonna grab this shadow I have applied to the table. Yeah, I'm gonna apply it to our add crop button. We're gonna now get some shadow there. And then I'm gonna give a little bit more gap in our crops section for just this area. There we go. Now for this, I think they're not in line. Yeah, yes they are, but Well, we have gap there, so it's kind of doing that already, but it's just kind of the size of that doesn't extend, doesn't fill that. So let's go ahead and make that button just a little smaller than so size. Let's go. This is padding in the X direction, padding in the Y direction is oh, sorry, not that. We want to do so. How can I make? Oh, so let me do this. Hold on. The H1 header has some padding built in. Yes, I thought I did that. Margin 0. Okay, whatever. We'll make it a little bit bigger then. No, I don't. Like 4, 5 is probably like good height. So then let's do in our add crop button. Let's lower these to like 4, 10, 12. There we go. Well, we want to probably give. We're probably in the X direction. We're padding in the Y direction like one. Okay. Nice. That looks really good. I like that. I think that hover is just a little bit too light. It's a little bit too white. Let's bring that in a little bit more green. There we go. That looks better. Nice. Took me a long way to get that. W, you have a great problem-solving skills. Thanks, Ray. Ray's always gassing me up. You're doing a really good job, man. Better than a lot of software students. I don't even install in Python anymore. I just let you handle the Python environment. You're good for learning in free time and balancing 9 to 5. Some people are full time CS major and they're cooked without an LLM. CSS tip, use rem or em instead of pixels. Rem is relative to the website's font size. Some users use larger font sizes preferred. Oh, got you. So it'll go towards the users, like custom, if they have it. Like, okay, got you. We might have to, yeah, I'll probably have to, I'll have to like maybe go through and change stuff up. Like get like a solid working proof of concept and then go through and finalize some stuff up. Okay, cool. That looks good. Um, so if we give like, let's just quickly edit our data. It's not really that important, but let's just do it just in case. So this would be like this would be tomato days, like 25 days in process, right? Perfect. Tomato. And then should we make these action buttons brown or keep them as black? What do you guys think? Kind of like the brown. Is it too much brown? It's like too overkill? It might be kind of overkill. Maybe what we'll do is we'll make it like a little bit of like a lighter brown. Or kind of like an orange. Something like this. I kind of like that. We'll give it a try. That's kind of cool. And then should we change the black on here to be the dark brown as well? What do you guys think for colors on this one? Brown, dark brown for that one? Do you guys like the darker brown? Like that. And then should we do the crops in black? Yeah. Let's do the crops in black. Let's do underline. Underline. Or we'll do decoration. 1, 2. Underline offset 2. 4. Underline decoration. And we'll do here maybe the brown. A week Robo Zion. How's it going? Robo Zion. Thanks for coming in. What do you guys think about this? They changed my name. Oh, sorry. Yeah, YouTube made it so that it's by the YouTube's username, not by your nickname. Sorry. Hey Vansh, welcome. Sorry, dude. I wonder if I can change it back in my settings on Streamlabs or something. What do you guys think? Do you guys like the brown text or the black text? And what about the buttons? Brown, light brown, or black? What do you guys think? I think this looks dumb as it is. I do like the underline, I think, but the underline maybe as black. Or maybe no underline. What do you guys think? Yeah, probably no underline. Oh, interesting. So I think I should also, in my crop section, instead of um, items baseline. Line bottom. Oh, I thought it's baseline. Ah, shoot. Hmm. Huh. How do I get these to... How do I get these to... Because, right, there's some gappage here versus it's lined up on the bottom. Items baseline. I want them to sit on the bottom border of the div. Come on. Brown is looking kind of aesthetic. Yeah, I agree. I like the brown. Items end. Flex row, justify between items and. That did move it down. Oh. Why can't I get this to line up? Hmm. Let's do items and huh. Do this. Do this. No. Is it because of the H1? No. What about if it's this button? Even then. Yeah, so like even in this, there is some spacing. Okay, so copy the H1 here. Did not do anything. Dang it. You can add in a negative margin bottom. Yeah, like that, but that's like terrible looking. Right, and then you can do the here. But that pushes it back, right? Oh, it might be because of that button then. Because the button and this aren't the same size. That's probably what it is. Right, so I wonder if I were to... Well, if I was to dominate the size of the container with this... So this button... So width fit. Height. Fit. There we go. Now if I set this fit. Set this back to 5XL. I make this, yeah, see, it's weird. Let me go to, speaking of which, bench, it's a good idea. Let's go to the inspect here. Let's see where the spacing's coming from. It's just a H1. It's like nothing there around it. Well, the div has some boundary. Right. It's filling. Yeah, I can't get this to fill. That entire section like it does with the button, right? I want it's frustrating. Oh, you're probably right. That's it. Yeah, you're probably right. It's just the font. So the characters have some spacing. Ah, you're right. That's a good idea, dude. You're smart. That's really smart. It's spacing on the font chars themselves. So you can apply a negative text onto, or a negative margin to pull it down. There you go. That was it. That's the fix. But that gives me this error here, which is like negative 2.5. Wow, there we go. Finally. Holy crap. What do you guys like better? Honestly, I can't really tell. Like, what do you think is visually more appealing? Having even spacing across the bottom of the characters? with the button, or having the word and the button be in line? Right? I'm kind of torn now, actually, now that I see it. You can definitely tell like that the button has some more height to it. Maybe I should set the height. Maybe lower the height of the button. I mean, we're really just nitpicking this now, right? But then if we increase the size of the text, which I don't think we want to do, yeah, that fills out to more of the size of the button. But then I probably have to increase the size of the text here because they're about the same, they're like the same size now. So if I go to my nav bar, let's make this 7. There we go. Or maybe it'll do 8. Medium and above. Okay, that's fine. We can always, we can always come back and do more. Okay, let's get rid of that border then. Nice. Okay. Now let me add in this is the crop section, right? So let me go to my app. Let's just add in some dead space here. Rather than a border, rather than padding, I'll just add in like some filler dead space. We'll set it equal to like that. Okay, cool. So that just gives us some filler space in case we want to do something there. Or maybe put things, whatever. Item center. Nice. Cool, that looks good so far. I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead and push this up. I'm actually really happy with what we did today. This design is actually coming along really nice. Designing is pretty tough, especially from scratch when you're not doing like Figma and stuff. Ligma. Title. change title sizings. That have huge cookies. I really like the look. Keep it up. The low key force them to accept the cookies. UI design is not easy. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely the hardest part. It's honestly, besides some of these leak code problems, like in terms of just like raw mental output and like creativity and like thinking and problem solving, UI design is a whole bucket of problem solving, like in its own way of creativity. Like it's not like mathematical problem solving, but it's like putting things on a blank page and filling it out in a way that actually has good flow and achieves like an actual product goal is pretty difficult. Like it's really underrated. It's a really underrated skill. Okay, awesome. That looks really good. So what will happen is you have, so what my goal is that, so if you guys don't know what we're building, this is called Pocket Farm. I have the domain pocketfarm.app. We got it. It wasn't that expensive. It was pretty cheap. It's only like 14 bucks. So we have pocketfarm.app, and we have this nav bar too here. It's cool. So what we're gonna do is you have your crops, and you can add crops like into your into your tracker, and you'll be able to go into your crops with the info, like select your crop and go into it, and that will bring up like the statistical view of each crop, right? And then what you can do is add an event or an action or whatever. I have them called events. You can add an event to the life cycle of the crop that you're tracking to basically say, okay, these are the things I did. Like I did a water, I fed it, I amended the soil, I transplanted. And then what you can do is um, like if not every crop, like you might not want to track like height or like light or these different types of statistics for every single crop. Maybe it's specific to one, and so we could have like a drag and drop potentially for like adding in statistics to your events to track when you create a crop, right? You can say, okay, when I create a crop, what kind of statistics do you want to, like when I press this in the menu to create the forum, it'll have like a bunch of things you can select for statistics you want to track for the crop. And then what'll be kind of cool is that you can share your pocket farm, your crops with other users potentially. Like if you want to share, okay, I grew these tomatoes and it turned out really well, and these are the medium I use and the fertilizer. This is the entire data set of its life cycle from all of my entries, basically handed over to you like a file, like a briefcase. And so you'll be able to share the entire life cycle of someone else's crop and be able to like see them like in your like your friends like shared crops or whatever, like things that were shared with you, like crops shared with you, or like community. We could have like a community page for people to share their crops on the community page, and you'll be able to see all of the pictures throughout the crops, or maybe just make a post for sharing a certain event, right? Oh, this is what my or you can make a post and then link it to an event that you did on the crop, right? So like you can make a post that just is a picture of the crop, but you took this picture during a certain event, and so you could link an event, right, or something like that. Um, I don't know. It'd be kind of cool, like a social platform for sharing your plants. Kind of fun. Anywho's, I think I'm gonna call it here today, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me. We got a lot of work done today on the front end and getting some, basic React components built up. Um, we have a really cool table that we can dynamically add our crops to once we receive them via our API calls. We'll probably next thing we'll work on is actually adding in crops with this feature button here to add crops to your list. So tomorrow or the next day, depending on if we come back to this tomorrow or do CS or do C programming a modern approach reading tomorrow, we'll make a button you press. It'll open up a form on top of everything for you to add in a name, add in you select your statistics you want to track, and basically everything else that you want. So like for instance, a crop would have this kind of information. You give it a title, a strain, a period type, like just photo period or auto flower, like a breeder, if it has genetics. These are the type of like statistics that we want the user to select if they want to track them within this crop. And and then yeah, so you can have customized statistics for the crop and then also for the entry level as well. Um, well, the entry right now currently just has a tag, so you currently just give a tag associated. So what you did, and the tags are coming from my globals, which is here. So like watering, trimming, topping, training, transplanting. I just got like a general list here. So if you give a tag to the event, like you can apply a tag to the event. So I did a watering event, or I did like an event where I recorded some, a nutrient burn or a deficiency I was noticing or whatever. You can apply certain tags to the event. Now, I'm trying to think like what's a better way of doing like having it be more general? Like these might be a little bit more niche, right? Maybe like an issue tag is more general, an issue tag, an environment tag, a feeding tag, and then these sub tags are just given as like your your descriptions in the actual class, right? For the event or the entry. So like you have the tags would help you filter out your individual entries via like feedings or um, whatnot. And then your notes, you can add various notes to your list of notes for like what was recorded during that event or something like that. Anyways, appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, we're almost to 4K, so if you guys aren't subscribed, please do so. We stream almost every single day, teaching ourselves computer science and programming, building live projects like you see on our screen now. So just in the short couple hours here, we were able to get a nice starter page going. So super excited. Learned a lot today with using JavaScript and building up these React components, getting more familiarity and practice. Thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Please like and subscribe. And talk to you guys later. Join the Discord. Bye, guys.